Inktober is fast approaching. Oh my god, I cannot believe it is the end of September. Where did it go? It felt like August yesterday. Who am I? Where am I? Hello. So I am getting ready for Inktober 2018. This is the second year I've ever participated. I've tried to participate in previous years, but just for whatever reason couldn't. The fall, a lot of the time, was when like a big comic deadline would be coming up, so I'd be busy working on those. Or I'd totally forget about it, because that happens a lot, where I hear about these really cool challenges and I get really excited, and then by the time they roll around, I've completely forgotten about them. And then it's like, oops, I meant to do that. But last year, I did Inktober. I started several days late. It was late one night, a few days into October, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make this happen. So I stayed up late and did these really awful ink sketches. But I did complete it last year on time, and it was really fun. So I'm gonna do it again. And it is nice because this year I don't have any major comic deadlines. I used to go hard with those and have several comic deadlines all at once and work myself to the bone every month. I'd have monthly deadlines, and right now things are a little bit more chill, where I'm kind of just doing the comic work as I have time for it. So I have time to do Inktober. So coming October 1st, October 1st to October 31st, we will be doing daily videos, just like when I did my 100 Days of Making Comics challenge. And this time, Bones will be doing a bunch of the talks over my inking. So something I used to do all the time, which I have neglected for a very long time because I'm always busy with comics, or I was. I used to draw my OCs, my original characters, and my roleplay characters all the time in high school and like, I don't know, years ago. And I haven't really done it in a very long time, and Bones and I were noticing that, so we were like, hey, how about for Inktober, instead of making like a comic or something, how about we just have fun and draw like old RP characters that we adore. So I was like, heck yeah, an excuse to just doodle fun stuff. Yeah, so I'm very excited. So I will be doing half of the talks. I'm doing all the drawing, but I'll be doing half the talks, and Bones will be doing the other half. We're going to be talking about our role plays and our characters that we've made together. He's promised some very cool talks about writing characters, and I will likely be doing stuff about character design and comics and all that good stuff. So if you liked my 100 Days of Making Comics, it'll be a lot like that, but Bones will also be contributing cool talks. In the meantime, I have to get ready for Inktober, because I guess there's no right way to do it, and there's no wrong way to do it. But I know from doing NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month, it happens in November, where you write a 50,000 word novel in a month, that having a lot of prep done really helps. Because a month deadline does not give you a lot of time to like work on this stuff. So having everything ready beforehand so that all I have to do is like sit down and do my inks, it will make my life so much easier. Because truth be told, when you're doing these monthly challenges, like, you might not have time to work on things every single day, and that's the real struggle. So I found last year, a lot of the time I was doing like several inks in one day, because it was like, well, I have some downtime today, but I'm not going to be able to work on this tomorrow, so I might as well do 2 today. Or I'd forgotten to do some, so it's like, well, I've got to catch up on 3 drawings, so I'm going to do that all tonight. So having all of my sketches done beforehand is really going to help me make sure that I keep on track and reduce like having to sit there and think about the composition I want to do and having to do the actual sketching, so that I just get to focus on my ink work, which is really nice. Because I think that's the point of Inktober, possibly, maybe, is just to focus on your ink work and hopefully improve it with practice. Now, I've always been a digital artist. All my comics are digital. It's what I'm most comfortable with. I've only recently gotten back into traditional stuff by working on The Scourge of Ninepoint, where I did all of my character design prep work traditionally. So yeah, getting back into traditional stuff is a challenge. It's very new to me. I'm very excited to work on it more. One of my dreams has always been to do a comic entirely with traditional inks. I really like the way they look. It adds a little bit of finality to each line, I guess. Because in digital, I can Control Z all I want and redo lines as many times as I want, and erase ink lines and resize ink and stuff. Whereas traditional, I put down the line and it's there. I can't undo it easily. So I'm hoping that I will be able to improve my inking skills further and to make more, I guess, like, clear decisions when I'm inking instead of futzing around and experimenting. Though that is good to do. It's just, I'm very comfortable doing it, and I want to challenge myself to be a lot more, this is it. This is how it's gonna go down. And I also have always wanted to do inking with dip pens, which I did a little bit last year when I did Inktober. I haven't touched them since, which is disappointing because I was excited to use them last year, and I was like, I'm gonna use these more, and then just projects I was working on didn't give me time to work with them, so I'm excited to work with them again, and yeah, and get a lot more practice because they are a little tricky, having to refill my ink as I go instead of having like a pen or something that is already full of ink. And I'm hoping because dip pens, at least the nibs I'm going to be working with, they're very thin, I'm hoping it'll invite me to do a lot more detail work, which is something that I lack in a lot of my work, so I'm excited to improve that stuff and be forced to focus on it. Because that's something I like to do. When I'm really bad at something, I make myself do it a lot. And these challenges really help. It gives you an excuse to really get outside your comfort zone and still have like a product to show people, because lots of people will be posting their Inktober stuff, and that's always exciting and really fun to see. And I know with Inktober there are a list of like official prompts, and lots of people create different prompts for you to base your drawings off of. I'm just going with a list of characters that Bones and I wrote out, of just like all our different RPs that we love, some of our favorite characters. A lot of it will be like shots of couples, because we do a lot of romantic RPs. Some of them will be group shots, which will be a lot more complicated. And then there's the occasional like single character to give myself a little break, because I know I'm going to be pulling my hair out at some point next month, because there's always some complication that comes up that makes it really hard to work. So yeah, gotta be prepared for that. I'm also doing all of my sketches. Like I said, I'm doing all my sketches beforehand, or as many as I can beforehand, so that I have a nice buffer in case complications come up. But I'm doing all of my sketches in blue pencil because I want to be able to take all of my inks and scan them in, and when you use a color pencil, it's very easy to remove the sketch lines from the ink without having to go and erase everything. And having color does kind of help separate the sketch from the inks, because the black ink is very stark on a color versus if it was on like a gray graphite. Oh, I'll also be using some brushes as well in my inking process. That's another thing I'm very excited about. I didn't have brushes last year, so I'll be able to do better like black fills, and maybe I'll do a little bit of like actually inking with a brush, which will be cool. That's another thing I've always wanted to do, but never really had the time to do. Let me know how you guys are prepping for Inktober. I'd be very curious to know what you guys do. If you've done it before, what do you recommend to help get it done and do it successfully and have fun with it? And I guess, like, what are some challenges you've run into while doing it? And if you've never done it before, let me know if you're doing it and share your work. I want to see what you guys do this October. And yeah, we can do this, guys. We got this. Ooh. Okay, that is all I have for today. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to request a video topic, or if you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. And if you want to see more videos about comics and inking and art, please make sure to subscribe. We've got more cool content coming out, and especially a lot of content coming out in October. Oh, my dog is barking. She bark. I don't know why. And if you ever want to check out any of my comics, you can find them in our Ticktail store. It is in the description down below. And finally, today we are not streaming because we are at Forest City Comic Con. So if you're there, please come say hello. We are there somewhere. I think we're at number 54, 56, somewhere around there. You'll find us, hopefully, maybe. Next week, we will be back to streaming again on Saturdays. This will probably be the last con of the year, so we will be streaming from now on Saturdays. And we have hopefully fixed our connection problem, so we will be able to stream without any issues, I hope, next week. So see you then. Alrighty, thanks again for watching. Goodbye!